A challenge for some Catholics is believing the bread or host and wine they receive during communion are the body and blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. Young Carlo Acutis from Milan researched and compiled the results for what is now the Vatican International Exhibit of Eucharistic Miracles of the World. It includes over 150 miracles. You may have seen the exhibit displayed at your local church. Let's cover a few of these miracles.
On October 12, 2008, at the church dedicated to St. Anthony of Sokolka, the Mass was celebrated by young Father Philip. During Holy Communion, the sacred body fell from the hands of one of the priests. A woman kneeling, ready to receive the Holy Eucharist, draws his attention to the sacred body now upon the floor of the church. The priest placed it in a small silver vessel containing water that is utilized by priests to wash their fingers following the distribution of Holy Communion. At the end of the Mass, the sacristan, Sister Julia, took that vessel with the host and secured it in the safe where the chalices are kept. A week later, she opened the safe and found the host almost dissolved, but with some strange red clots in the center. She immediately called the priest to show them what she had discovered. At the beginning of January 2009, the Curia asked two eminent specialists in anatomy, Professor Maria and Professor Stanislaus, to examine the samples of the blood-stained remnants of the sacred body. The sample examined was neither a clot nor blood. It was actually found to be human cardiac muscle tissue and still alive. And something even more incredible? It was found to be cardiac muscle tissue with pathological indications that are usually present in tissue prior to death. In October 2006, Father Roque, pastor of the parish of St. Martin of Tours, invited Father Esteban to lead a special spiritual retreat for his parishioners. As Father Roque was distributing Holy Communion, assisted by a consecrated religious sister, Sister turned to him with eyes filled with tears, as the host that she was taking to give to an ill parishioner had begun to effuse with a reddish substance. The scientific research conducted between October 2009 and October 2012 came to the following conclusion. The reddish substance analyzed corresponds to blood in which is found hemoglobin and DNA of human origin. The blood type is type AB, similar to the type of blood found on the sacred host at Lanciano, and also on the Holy Shroud of Turin. A microscopic analysis reveals that the blood had been coagulated since October 2006, and that it had underlying layers revealing fresh blood. The event does not have a natural explanation. In St. Hyacint's Church in Legnica, during the celebration of the Holy Mass, on December 25, 2013, the sacred body, a sacred host, accidentally fell on the ground during the distribution of Holy Communion. It was immediately placed in a container with water and enclosed in the tabernacle. A few days later, a red spot appeared on its surface. The bishop of Legnica decided to establish a commission for scientific analysis. Following the analysis by the Pomeranian Medical University, the findings were announced that tissue fragments containing parts of cross-striated muscle were found. This is similar to human heart muscle with alterations that often appear when agony is being suffered. On August 15, 1996, in the parish church of St. Mary, a member of the faithful received Holy Communion, but it inadvertently fell to the ground, and he thought not to pick it up because to him it seemed dirty. Another person, perhaps more pious, noticed what had happened and picked up the sacred body and immediately informed the priest celebrant, Father Pizet. The priest, following the directive of the church, placed the host in a vessel full of water, which he then placed in the tabernacle, awaiting the dissolution of the host. In 2001, samples were presented to Professor Linoli, who identified in the samples the presence of white blood cells, and said most probably these samples corresponded to heart tissue. The results were similar to those from the miracle of Lanciano. In 2002, samples were sent to Professor John Walker at the University of Sydney in Australia, who confirmed that the samples demonstrated muscle cells and intact white blood cells, which are known to disintegrate in 15 minutes when they are outside the body, but in this case, 6 years had already elapsed. An inscription found in the Church of St. Francis describes the Eucharistic miracle which occurred there in the year 750. A monastic priest doubted whether the body of our Lord was truly present in the Holy Eucharist. He celebrated Holy Mass, and when he had said the words of consecration, he saw the host turn into flesh, and the wine turn to blood. Everything was visible to those who were there at the Mass. The flesh still intact, and the blood divided into 5 unequal parts, which together have the exact same weight as each one does separately.
Now let's take a look at some of the countries where miracles occurred. France, 12 Eucharistic miracles. Germany, 9 Eucharistic miracles. Italy, 34 Eucharistic miracles. And Spain, 20 Eucharistic miracles. The Eucharistic miracles shown are just a small percentage of the Vatican document. For more miracles, or to host the exhibit at your parish, go to the website listed below. Finally, the next time you receive communion, we hope you will see it as the body and blood, soul and divinity of our Lord Jesus Christ.